So I'm gonna reread from the lunch scene, and then you're gonna go back in and answer below about what kind of school this seems like and how this might shape Will and his actions. So remember, that's what you're thinking about as I'm doing this read aloud reread of the lunch scene. During lunch, I was sitting with a table full of friends, talking and listening in my usual superior way, when I heard Mike Stitcher say, "Hey, buddy." Somehow I knew that he meant me. Somehow I knew that all kinds of jigs were up and that something momentous was going to happen. I turned to look at him. "I hear you want to fight me," he said. "That's right," I said. "I'll meet you after school." "I'll be there," I said. Then he walked away, and I discovered two interesting things about myself. The first was that the idea of fighting terrified me, and the second was that in moments of extreme fear, my body produced ice cold sweat. Someone said something to me, and I smiled and nodded. Someone said something else to me, and I smiled and nodded at that too. Perhaps they were giving me advice. Perhaps they were telling me to stay low and lead with my left. I stood up, without really knowing I was standing up, and walked from the cafeteria to the playground. I had never felt so lonely or so frightened in my life. Somehow I had taken a wrong turn and wound up in the wrong day, in the wrong body, with the wrong future. Somehow, in 3 hours, I was going to be in a real fight with real fists, and there was no way out of it. So, I want you to think about some of the words that really stand out here, like superior, jigs were up, real fight with real fists. Um, and think about the mood of that scene because of those words that the author used. Um, Also, think about the kind of place that would allow this kind of thing to happen, like place yourself into that lunchroom scene. What kind of school are you getting the vibe that this is, and how might it affect Will? In his actions. Go ahead and write about that below.